So hi guys, welcome back. Welcome. Excited to have you here again. So I just wanted to come to you and talk to you about what a typical day in the life of a master's student in Sweden looks like. My university is the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. Gothenburg is a metropolitan city, and it's one of the largest cities in Sweden. So there are two major cities in Sweden, two larger cities in Sweden, which are Stockholm, which is the capital, and then Gothenburg. And I chose to come to Gothenburg for lots of reasons, and I'm loving it here. I have been to Stockholm many times, and this is just a background story before we get to what it looks like on a daily basis. I've been to Stockholm many times and I like it, but I also feel like capital city, busy, like super busy and everything, it's not for me. It's not for me as a person. So, I went to Stockholm. The first time I went to Stockholm, I really walked in the city. I was exhausted. When I came back to Gothenburg, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like home, because you can have everything that you need in Stockholm, or almost everything that you need in Stockholm. It's also a big city, but just the population and, bumping shoulders, and you don't have that much in Gothenburg. I mean, you have a lot of people. I haven't checked to see the population of Gothenburg. Maybe I should check to tell you. But I chose to come to Gothenburg for personal reasons, and I'm loving it. I would live in Gothenburg over Stockholm. I would choose Gothenburg a million times over Stockholm. Stockholm is a beautiful city, don't get it twisted. It is very beautiful. It is lovely. I like it. I mean, I love Sweden. I'm falling in love with Sweden. I like this country. I mean, it's funny that at this point in my life, when I first got here, I didn't really like it. But at this point in my life, I think I've really grown to like it. Okay, and I'm just gonna check. As of the 31st of December 2020, population statistics 2023. I would not. So guys, just a random check on Google. It says that as of the 31st of December 2020, Gothenburg had a population of 604,083. Is that even right? About 604,083 people. 604,083. Yeah, about that number of people residing in Gothenburg. I personally think that it's more. I think that I'm trying to find a recent update. Can't really find it now, but we'll check it later. But I mean, I know that Gothenburg is almost 1 million people. There's lots of people in Gothenburg. There's lots of shops. I mean, I would do a come with me video to show you the city of Gothenburg, to show you the mall. I would probably do that in the future and upload it on this channel so that you can get to have a feel of the city if you're planning to come to the city, or if you're planning to come and study in Sweden. Okay, so I love it here. I fall in love with the city. I wouldn't live in Stockholm because I think it's busy, but also because I have everything that I need here. Okay, so yeah, I like it here. So on a typical day as a student, you wake up in the morning, you maybe brush, take a shower, make your breakfast. Now, most programs in Sweden are about 3 hours in the morning. So you would likely have classes between 9 and 11 o'clock. Sorry, between 9 and 12. So you would have some classes between 8 to 10, others between 8 to 11, and most of them between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is midday, so between 12 and 1, everyone is liberated and expected to be having their lunch. Okay, it's a serious thing here. That was a culture shock to me, because back home, of course, we have lunch, but we don't have it at midday, where everybody shuts down everything and it's like, it's lunchtime, let's go have lunch. So that's one of my culture shocks. Maybe we'll talk about culture shocks as well sometime later. But so I came to Sweden to study, of course. So on a regular day, when you leave your house in the morning, you can drive or you can take a bus. I don't drive, so I take a bus to school, and from my home, you know, with the bus, it takes approximately an hour 40 minutes to get to school. It's normal with the bus. If you drive, you can take 10 minutes to be there, but if you take the bus, it's much more time that you have to spend on the way. So when I leave the house in the morning, I go straight to school. I sit in class, I attend my class, and then sometimes, rarely, you can have a class in the morning for 3 hours, and then you can have like a practical work in the evening, or between 1 to 3 sometimes, or group work. But that doesn't happen often. So on a regular day in Sweden, you leave the house in the morning, you would go to school, and you have a 2 or 3 hour class, and then that's all for the day. That's all for the day. Crazy, right? I found that, for me, that was really shocking. So that interferes with a lot of things, especially if you want to work in the day. If you want to have a part-time job and you want to go every day, that it can kind of mess it up for you, especially if the job, you know, starts at 7 o'clock, you will not be able to meet up. And I'll come to that. It's yes, I said that you can study full-time, but it's stressful. It can be really stressful. So in the morning, you go to school. Most classes are in the morning. And so if you want to take a part-time job, it will be advisable to take one that starts at about midday or at about 1 o'clock, so that you can go to school and then leave school and go to work. But when you get here, that's totally up to you. If you get a part-time job that can help you with your expenses, please take it. If you can handle it with school, take it. You know, I'm not here to tell you only do part-time jobs that start at 1 o'clock. No, you would study the situation as an adult and you would choose what works for you. Basically, you leave the house in the morning, you go to school, you do 3 hours, you come home. And then school is every day. School is Monday to Friday. School is Monday to Friday, so you don't have like an off day. If you're studying 100%, then you would have 100% day student. Then you are expected to be in school every day from Monday to Friday for a few hours, 2 or 3 hours mostly in the mornings. Okay, now there are 2 semesters in Sweden. The first semester starts in August, or I would say first week of September, but it's literally like the last days in August. That's when the semester actually starts. So you will see the semester starting around the 29th of August, the 30th of August, the 31st of August, and so on and so forth. The last week in August, the semester starts there. It ends around the 2nd week of January. So the semester is from August or September right up to January. That's when the first semester ends, somewhere around January. Then you do not have any break between the first semester and the second semester. So when your first semester ends on Friday, the Monday that starts is a new semester. We do not have breaks in between semesters. However, we have a Christmas break, which is a few days. We have an Easter break, which is a few days as well. And then we have a summer break, which is 3 months. So when your first semester ends in January, you start the second semester right away. It's just a weekend, and then you have to start your second semester. Now, when the second semester ends in May or in June, most times it ends in May, like the last week in the month of May. Then you have from May, June, July, and then August, about 3 months to enjoy your summer vacation and then start the next year, which is the last week of August, the next year or the next semester, the last week of August. So that's basically how the structure is for a typical day or a typical school year. This video has been 2 things, right? A typical day in the life of a student and a typical year in the life of a student studying in Sweden. So yeah, that's what it is. I just wanted to share with you in case you're wondering what the school year looks like, what the school day looks like. This is basically it. You're not going to be overcharged with 4 courses a day or 4 classes a day. No, you're going to have 1 class every day. And another thing I wanted to inform you of is the fact that in Sweden you take 1 course at a time. So you do not have to do 3-4 courses at a time. You take 1 course at a time. So now I'm doing, for example, ES 216, Environmental Science 216 or whatever, and I have to do only that course until the course is over, and then I go to the next course. So it's 1 course at a time for your program. And also, it's interesting to know that in Sweden, for instance, if I want to study a master's in environmental science and I need 25 courses to make up a master's in environmental course in environmental science. 5 of these courses are compulsory courses. So let me take it back. If you want to do a master's in environmental science, for example, and you have to do 25 courses to be able to complete a master's in environmental science, then you have 25 courses to do. Out of these 25 courses, you have a bank of courses to choose from. You have a bank of about 40 or 50 courses to choose from. From these 40 or 50 courses, there are 5 compulsory courses that every environmental science master student must have completed. So when you have these 5 compulsories, then the rest of the bank that has 40 or 45 courses, you can go there and select your 20 courses, or how many courses that are left to make up your 120 credits. So you pretty much decide how your master's degree is going to look like, or how your program, whether it's a PhD, I don't know about PhDs a lot, but you basically decide how your program is going to look like. So you tailor your program according to how you want it to look like. For example, I love environmental management systems because I've worked as an environmentalist in the corporate world, in the ministry in the corporate world. So I love environmental management systems. I took the course. I love sustainable development because I'm looking at future prospects, and I'm looking at, some of the tools that were used in the course, and I chose the course. I like energy efficiency, for example. As an environmentalist, I chose it. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to do the 5 compulsory courses that you must do to be able to get these masters in environmental science. But to be able to make up the rest of my 120 credits, which is 120 credits for a master's, to be able to make up the rest of my credits, I should be able to go into the bank of courses and choose what courses I want to do. Isn't that amazing, right? You do what you like. You do what you would like to focus on in the future, and it's just beautiful for me. I think that it's, you're treated like a grown-up who has a mind and who knows what they want to become in future, and you're giving the liberty to start building it from that level. So I don't know about the bachelor's, but for the master's, I know about that. So I just wanted to share with you again some tips about studying in Sweden, how it looks like, and so on and so forth. And let's just dive into this. Let's call it a study in Sweden session, or a life in Sweden session. And yeah, I figured out a lot of people are interested in these things, and so I will bring some videos on the channel about these things, and let's brainstorm, and maybe it can bless someone, and someone can decide to study in Sweden from these experiences. I also wanted to share that I have been a student ambassador, an international student ambassador for the University of Gothenburg, and so I've been doing this for a few years. It was a job for me. It was a part-time job on campus, just talking to international students, holding webinars, and it's coordinated by the institution, by the university, but just holding webinars and trying to sell the school to international students. So this is basically me doing it again for free. But yeah, it's a great place. I've loved it. It has its own challenges, but I've loved it. It's been great. So I hope you enjoyed the channel today. I hope you enjoyed this piece of information, and thanks for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We have lots of good stuff coming on the channel. Okay. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so that you're the very first to know when we post a brand new video on this channel. Until next time, I love you so much, and God bless you. Mwah. Talk to you next time. Bye.